So what are we going to talk about today? Let's talk about my first experience. Let's talk about my, how should I say? Oh, you want some, baby girl? Delicious. Sonia, I want to welcome you back to my channel. Now before I get into the topic for today, I actually wanted to go ahead and make my green juice. It helps me, gives me some energy throughout the day. So if you come right over here with me, we're gonna go ahead and get started. So over here, what I normally put in my green juice is I have some celery over here. I have my cucumbers, this is some kale, and I'm gonna use 1 lemon and 1 green apple. And so I'm just gonna go ahead and clean my vegetables. Let me go ahead and get my cutting board. And majority of them, I don't really have to do too much. I'm just gonna cut them into half and just put it into the juicer. So for this recipe, I'm using 3 cucumbers. I think I'm using 4 sticks of celery. And then before I forget, actually I forgot to mention ginger. We're also going to be using ginger to make this. Maybe just about 2 inches of ginger, nothing too much. You don't want it to be too strong. Although it depends on each person, you know, however much ginger you want to use. For me, that's how much I use, about 2 inches. And put this back. I don't have to cut the kale, I just put it in the juicer like that. Let me go ahead and clean my apple. I'm done with that. And this right here is my juicer. Go ahead and plug it in. And I have my glass right over here. Let's go ahead and get started, you guys. peel it. And honestly, I get everything from Walmart, so I'm just gonna use probably just the top half. And I'm just gonna grab a new glass, so I'm gonna grab a new glass from here. Go ahead and pour it. Let's see how it tastes. It's delicious. Okay, well, it's not sweet or anything, which I don't mind, but it's very refreshing. It has a nice refreshing taste to it, and I love it. All right, well, let's go ahead and sit down. Feels good to sit down, you guys. So we're gonna talk about my first pregnancy and the whole experience that I had. Oh, she wants more. Just don't spill it on me. Mmm, so delicious. Okay. Hi, it's a lot to talk about. Let's start with, how did I find out I was pregnant? Well, like most women, my period was late. And so I was excited actually, and a little scared because I was like, oh, am I pregnant? Am I gonna be a mom? And so actually, I took a pregnancy test, and it was around what? It was pretty late, like midnight, around midnight, and so it came out positive. And if I tell you I could not believe it, I started freaking out. I started freaking out because, I mean, am I ready to be a mom? That's what I was asking myself. Am I ready? Am I ready for that responsibility? Can I do it? You know? And so that night I went to Walgreens, the one that opens 24/7, and we got like, what, 3-4 pregnancy tests. And so I retook all of them and they all came out positive. And so after that I was like, okay, this is for sure, for real, for real. And so I think the next day we set up an appointment at the women's clinic. And so when we went, they kind of were able to kind of guesstimate how far along I was. And I was already 5 weeks. Can you imagine? I wasn't showing any symptoms yet at the time though. Sorry, baby. There you go. That's her. But yeah, so I went to the women's clinic. I found out how far along I was, and then I looked for my OBGYN. Long story short, before I found my OBGYN, I started getting my symptoms. Like, it's like after I went to that women's clinic, my pregnancy symptoms started hitting me hardcore. When I tell you hardcore, I mean hardcore. The nausea was horrible. The nausea was the worst. I wasn't vomiting yet, but I was always nauseous. And when they say morning sickness, you guys, they don't mean morning, they mean all day. I had it all day, feeling nauseous. I couldn't eat anything. I was just always nauseous. And then finally, I was so tired of feeling nauseous. Like, it was just like irritating me. So I forced myself to vomit. And so when I forced myself to vomit that one time, it's like all of a sudden I was always vomiting. No, let's go back. So I forced myself to vomit, and you know what? I felt so much better. I was like, finally, I don't feel nauseous. Legit, that feeling lasted like 5 minutes, and then it was like worse. The feeling of nausea was worse. And so I didn't want to eat anything. I didn't feel like eating anything at all. So I was like, yo, I want some fast food. So I think we went to Burger King. We drove to Burger King, ordered some food. I was eating in the car. I hadn't eaten anything that whole day. I was freaking hungry and I wanted that burger. I ate the burger. I finished the burger. And after I ate the burger, we were driving back home. And yo, I had to stop. I was like, stop the car, I'm gonna vomit. And so, but we're in the middle of traffic and I mean, we couldn't stop. So I was like, there was the high school right there, the high school that I attended. And I was like, the high school's right up there, just try to get there, you know, and then stop in the parking lot or something so I can vomit because it was coming and I was trying to hold it down, but it was so hard. And so finally, we're able to maneuver. And we went into the parking lot of the high school, and oh my goodness, I'm telling you, the way it went down is the way it came back up. And well, I guess it's disgusting to go into detail about the throw up, but yeah, the way it went down is the way it came back up. And then after that, it was non-stop vomiting. I lost so much weight, you guys. I was pretty much bringing up everything. It didn't matter if it was food, water, just everything. And you know, I was really scared, and people were telling me, oh, you know, just take some ginger, or what else did they say I should do? Anyways, they were telling me a bunch of natural remedies, and I do like natural remedies anyways. I prefer to figure out a way to fix the problem without having to take medication, because I'm not a big fan of medication. But none of the things they said was working for me. I was losing so much weight. I think I went from 145 to 126, and I've never been 126. I think the smallest I ever was 130. So I was really scared, and I didn't want it to affect my baby. And so one night, it was just too much. I felt like I was gonna die. I was so dehydrated. Oh my gosh. And so we drove to the emergency room. When I got to the emergency room, all they did was pump me up with some fluids, and I think they gave me some medication, and I was okay. And so they also gave me like a small sample of I guess pills to help with the nausea. And so when I finally got to my OBGYN, which was about maybe a week later, I asked him to, he got a prescription for me. He got a prescription for me. Wait, just pause. We need to do something with this child. And so I spoke to my OBGYN. He got me a prescription, and I was able to pick it up within maybe like 3 days. But since it took me about a week from the emergency to go and see my OBGYN, and then the extra 3 days, my little sample pills were done, and I was feeling like hell again. Oh my gosh. Yo, pregnancy is crazy. And excuse the music, it's my daughter's music. But yeah, probably the biggest thing that I can say about my first pregnancy experience was the nausea and the vomiting. It lasted 6 months, and then it felt like forever. But you know what? I can't complain because I've had women say that theirs lasted throughout the whole pregnancy. I don't know how. I don't know how someone can deal with that. Just kill me. Kill me. And then probably the other thing that I can say that was kind of annoying during that pregnancy was snoring. I'm normally not a snorer, but I was snoring like a man. Like a full-grown, I don't even know what I meant, but it was so loud. They actually showed me a video of me snoring. It was scary. I was snoring so loud. And then the other thing would be drooling. That one was annoying. Anytime I sleep, I drool. You guys, it was disgusting. It was disgusting. I'm sleeping, and then I wake up and all my face is full of drool. Yeah, that was pretty gross. In terms of, like, let's say my diet, I don't think my diet, I wasn't overeating like how some women say that they overeat when they're pregnant. I think that one stayed about the same. I was eating the same thing. I was eating pretty healthy because my doctor was like, hey, I don't want you to gain too much weight, because if you gain too much weight, we're gonna have to do a C-section, and I definitely did not want to do a C-section. And so I was really watching my diet. However, the one thing that my doctor said that I was not gonna do, he told me you need to change your diet. You need to cut out all carbohydrates. You guys, I am African. I am Rwandan. I have nothing else to eat if I cut out all carbs. I mean, he was like, cut out the rice, the pastas, any carbs, cut it out. Cut out the bread, everything. All I want you to eat is vegetables and meat, protein. And so that one I was like, you know what? I don't think I can do that. Because you guys, I love rice. I love my fufu. And I love eating pasta, eating spaghetti. No, I wasn't gonna do it. So I just continued eating. I mean, maybe I made it into a smaller portion. I was eating a smaller portion of carbs, but I was still eating it because I can't survive without it. I can't. It's such a huge part of my diet that I just couldn't cut it out. Anyways, regardless, I didn't really gain that much. Well, at the end of my pregnancy, I was about what did it say? I was about 180 something. I don't remember the exact number, but I was about 180 something. So I did gain quite a bit of weight, but it wasn't as bad as it could have been. So I'm happy. I pretty much kind of kept to a good diet. And anyways, I think you just naturally gain weight, especially during your last few trimesters, or the last few months of pregnancy. And then, what else? I was going to talk about something else, but I can't remember. Oh yes, this one's for the ladies. You get a lot of discharge. And if you're a lady, you know what I'm talking about. And if you've been pregnant, you definitely know what I'm talking about. So let's just leave it at that. Yeah, I mean, that's about it. It wasn't too bad. Like I said, the biggest thing about my first pregnancy was just the nausea. Oh, yes. let me tell you, towards, I think I was about 8 months or 8.5, my hips were hurting. I would go to bed and sleeping was okay, but waking up from trying to get out of bed and trying to walk, it was so difficult. It was actually, well, the pain wasn't like intense, but my hips were always hurting. And they did end up shifting because after I gave birth, like my hips were wider, which I mean, I'm not complaining about. But yeah, it was kind of painful. I think those are all the hiccups that I faced during my first pregnancy. Yeah, just those first 6 months, they killed me. Oh, hi, how can I miss it? You are constantly exhausted, especially in the first trimester. Let me tell you, the fatigue is for real. I was on my computer working whenever I was at work, and legit, I had to like kind of lean, close my eyes a little, 5 minutes, okay, and then get back to working. Close my eyes a little, get back. It's so hard. It is so hard. I was constantly tired, like bone tired, like I want to pass out tired during my first trimester. And then when I was telling my family about it, like, Mom, what can I do? Grandma, hey, give me some advice. They were like, well, Sonia, we didn't actually experience any of that. Our pregnancies were pretty easygoing, so we have no advice for you. And I was like, well, where did I go wrong? Because literally my mom didn't experience any symptoms during her pregnancy. My grandmother didn't, and actually my auntie didn't either. And so I'm like, well, what about me? And so yeah, it was really hard. By the time I gave birth, I was ready to give birth. I was sick and tired. But you know what, you guys? It's as hard as it is. The gift that comes afterwards is more than worth it. And I mean, really what they say is true. After you give birth, you forget. You just forget. And so I think that'll be all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I do want to thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.